And let's bring Garry Cobb on now and get his take on that and get his spin on this here because, boy, and it was especially when you look at those numbers. But that comment I just made, G Cobb, do you agree? Best cap management and best contract negotiating team in the league?
I mean, Howie does a great job of that. There's no doubt about it. He finds ways to make the money available. And I was wondering, of course, with DeVonta coming up, that, what were they going to do? And now, with he's coming in, really he's making the same amount as AJ. They're both making 25. And, Howie knows how to work the numbers. I mean, he definitely does a good job of that. And you got to give him credit for it. And, the thing is, you want to keep your guys happy. And, he does a good job of that. There's no doubt about it.
How about this, Garry? Here, and here's really the hidden gem of it. And by the way, the nuts and bolts of the cap hits aren't out yet because it's got to go through the NFLPA and the league office. But in 2024, he'll make $6.4 million on his last year of his rookie deal. And this is the creative part. DeVonta had to accept the fifth-year option, which is $15.5 in 2025. So in theory, they're not paying this guy $25 million until 26, or 26 to 28 is a 3-year, $75 million with the $51 million bonus. That's $96.9, and it comes out annually to $19.4. So what I think he did, he wanted to get a Cooper Kupp deal. And what I mean by that is, what's peace of mind? Organization likes me. Maybe I take a $10, $15 million haircut. I like it here, but I like being an Eagle. And for him to pick that 5th-year option up and say okay to it, to add the extension on, I really think that this is a marvelous contract that was a template that maybe other teams should look at, because this is pretty impressive that you don't have to pay this guy for 3 years.
Well, the thing he does is he's got his money guaranteed. And so he knows he's going to get the money, which is what it's all about. I mean, if he has to wait a little time, he knows he's guaranteed this money. And Howie does a great job of the way they structure it. And they find ways to keep their guys signed. If they really want to sign a guy, they do a great job of doing it, utilizing the different rules that they have. Now, I don't understand all the rules. I don't know all of them, but they do a great job of getting their guys signed, keeping the guy happy, which ultimately is what it's all about. Am I making the money that I think I deserve? And, he's averaging where he's making 25 a year. So he's cool. The way they do it, he doesn't really, I don't imagine the players get into it too deep, as long as they get their money.
How about this, Garry? But and that part of the conversation, reinvesting in your draft picks, is wonderful, and it's part of the general manager's job.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to tell people is this: you're not better today as a team, because you still, and for the love of me, man, they address Mulata, they address Landon, they address DeVonta.
Yes.
They get a $10 million running back. And then you look on the other side of the ball and people go, Sills, this is a Super Bowl. I'm like, Hoss, you're no better today than you were the last seconds ticking off of the Buck game. You're not better. As a matter of fact, with Reddick not being on the team, you're probably worse. So I'm like, I think fans, they get excited about these contract extensions, and I think it's wonderful. But Garry, do you believe they're better today because of that signing?
I mean, I can't say that they are better, especially defensively. They're really. It's almost like they're saying, "Well, Fangio is going to work magic." That they are going into the season. They're thinking that he is going to have a very good year, and he's going to find a way to utilize to take the talent he has and to get the most out of it. And obviously he's selling it because it just seems like he's got a lot of power over there now. If you see the way
Oh, yeah.
Fangio, they're doing things the way he wants them to do. Now, I guess, even more than Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
He's under the gun, man. He's going to be looked upon to work magic because, of course, they've been talking about him before he took the defensive coordinator's job because the guys that had been here were his guys.
How tough a job? Who has a tougher job, Gary, Kellen or Vic, this coming season?
Now that's a very good question because I mean, I would say Vic. I mean, Kellen looks at me. Kellen's got talent. I mean,
everywhere.
He's got talent. I mean, the thing, he's got to utilize it properly. But these guys have all proven that a lot of them are Pro Bowl level players. And if you put him in the right position, they should be able to. He's got a lot of talent. I mean, so I would have to say Fangio, he's definitely the one that's got the toughest job because, you got a lot of, I mean, look at the pass rush wise. Look, you got those young kids, man. Come on. Some of which, like, Nolan Smith, he hasn't proven he can play on this level.
And the other guy, Huff, hasn't proven he can play 3 downs.
No, he got a taste of a little bit. Now, I haven't go back and look and see how he got all of his 10 sacks. But, he can get in there where he might have got 3 in one game, and he found somebody that he was able to take advantage of. And then the whole rest of the season, he's got 7, So, I can't say I've studied him very closely, but he's so young and he's done it, 1 year, and I hope they're right. I mean, I hope these guys come in and play well, man.
Me too, man. Hey, how about this one? How do you think A.J. Brown is looking at all of this? How do you think a guy like that, when all of a sudden the bag of money now is hanging right next to him on the scale with a guy with that kind of ego, he calls WIP, your former home, to get therapy sessions with the afternoon guys.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm wondering, Gary, how do you think the patient's going to handle this with that bag of money going over to DeVonta?
Now I know he and DeVonta are close, At the same time, I mean, I don't think he looks down at DeVonta, but he feels like he's the best.
Well, if I was Michael Coffer and I saw Garry Cobb get a contract that made as much as me, and I'm going like, well, I love me and G Cobb go back a long way. I love him. Yeah. But, hey, Ron Hughes. What we doing over here, man?
you got to bump me up some. I know he feels that he deserves the most on the team. And that he feels that way.
Because he's produced the most.
He has produced the most. That's right. He has produced the most. I mean,
do you think he goes in there with his agent and goes like this now? Well, hey, that's really great. So you're paying him $25 million for a job that's a lesser job than what I'm doing. Don't you think I deserve a little bump in pay here? A couple million to get me up near Cooper Kupp and to get me up near like maybe DeVonta Adams?
He definitely probably thinks about it. And I don't know if he's going to do anything. I think he's a team-oriented guy. We'll see. But, ultimately, everybody, you're not there to get trophies. You're really there to get paid. That's the thing that really affects you the most. Trophies are great, but you need your money.
You don't get paid for winning Super Bowls if you're a wide receiver. You get paid for targets, catches, and yards.
That's right.
Okay? And wait a minute. He's going to go like this. Well, so for the last 3 years, I've got 3,000 yards. The young fellow over there has got 2,200. And I'm putting up these historic numbers in Eagle history, and you're paying him the same number as me? Well, I now feel underpaid.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that there's no question that, you know, he's got to feel like he deserves the most. He thinks he's the best wide receiver in there. And really, you know, I don't think DeVonta thinks he's better than him, but he knows that he brings certain things to the table that DeVonta doesn't have. DeVonta runs great routes. And in fact, DeVonta has made AJ a better receiver just because you can see that, because you see him over there talking during practice. And DeVonta has a great understanding of the game, especially running routes. He does a great job of setting a guy up and everything, because he's not a burner, but you see how he gets open. And a lot of times he's wide open, you know, because he runs the routes very well. And AJ has learned things about him. But at the same time, AJ feels he's the best receiver. He has been the most productive, and you got to give it to him. So he wants the most money.
Hey, and you know, I think that's coming.
And that goes with the position too.
Yeah.
You know, that goes with the position. I mean,
it does go with it.
How many times have, you know, you got a wide receiver that didn't think they were the best on the team and everything and on, you know, so that wide receiver position always has a lot of ego.
You're paying me the same money on a guy who's done lesser than me.
Yeah. Well, he knows, I guess he feels on his next contract, of course, he's going to go up.
Oh, if he's here.
Yeah.
That's 3 years from now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think he's going to be cool, but we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, Gary, is this a fair comment? Hey, Jalen, there's no more off ramps. This is, here we are. I mean, we can't do anything else for you, son.
Mm-hmm.
The coordinator's new.
Yeah.
Got you a shiny running back.
Yeah.
Okay. Got your receivers locked up. Best O-line. I mean, come on now. This got to be a really great, this got to be a 22 season, no?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, you know, Jalen and the offense, they got to put it out, man. I mean, you know, they're averaging 30 and up. Come on. You know, to stop all these guys defensively, because you sit back and you look at the offense and you think, well, what are you going to play against them? What are you going to, you got to pick your choice. You got to try to take something away. But whatever you take away, you're leaving something else open. And they could just come to the line of scrimmage and call the play at the line of scrimmage. And that's probably what they're going to do, because you cannot take everything away against these guys. And I think some people are going to say, we would rather Saquon run for 200 yards.
So wait, hold on here now.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay two guys $25 million
mm-hmm.
and a quarterback $50
to
run the ball 25 times?
Well, no, I mean, I'll tell you this. That if I'm thinking, I'm going like, okay, that's the way I'm going to play them. I would rather him do that and try to take away those wideouts, you know, because they're not going to score as many points if they're running the ball that much. See, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles do, because teams could say, okay, we will let you run the ball. We're going to try to take away your passing game, because the passing game, that's where you score quicker. I mean, if they're exploding in the passing game, you could go look in, they got 24 points in the first half. See, but if they're running the ball and Saquon is, let's say he's running the ball 25 times a game, you know, chances are they're not going to score as many points.
Do you believe
mm-hmm.
we're 10 days out from the draft?
Yeah.
It's going to be completely heavy defensive players. And would you do this, Gary? 22. At 22, you either package 22 and 50, move up, or do you go 22 and 50, which is a second rounder, and offer that to the Denver Broncos for Patrick Surtain? Because that would give then Denver this. Denver needs a quarterback. Right now they're sitting at 12. They would have 12 and 22. They could take 12 and 22, move up to 3 with New England, and get a quarterback for Sean Payton. They don't have a quarterback. What's the point of having Patrick Surtain on your team when you can't score points?
I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. Now, Surtain is going into what year?
Listen, here's the beautiful. He's got 1 year left on a rookie deal, and he's in the same situation as DeVonta, because they were drafted in the same draft. So he's on a rookie deal this year. Get this, they picked up the 5th-year option already in Denver. So you wouldn't have to pay him big money until 3 years from now at that corner position.
No, wait a minute. I thought you said that he's at the end of his rookie rookie
got
deal.
1 more year on his rookie deal. They're gonna May 2nd. They've already done it though. They've picked up the 5th year, so they have him on the 6.4. Then he comes back next year for 15.5. He's the best corner in football. The 3rd year, that's when you'd have to start talking extension in the offseason for him. So you would have 3 years of him still being under market value, where these corners today are going for $23 million.
And you would get him for 22 and 50.
Yes.
Get for the 22nd pick and the 50th pick. I mean, he's an outstanding player.
He's the best corner in the league.
Hey.
And look what he would do to your defense immediately. You would have him, CJ, Bradbury, and you would have Slay back there with one of the best young corners in pro football. That helps the safety position out, and it helps your pass rush out.
Yeah, well, it's that definitely would be a tempting move.
And they also made a call in November, them and the Niners, on his availability. I mean, would you do it?
You definitely would seriously consider it. I mean, I think you definitely consider doing that.
And they've got the cap space to do it.
Wait, what did you say about the cap space?
They have $40 million right now, almost, in cap space.
I don't see why.
And here's the other thing: Vic drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is something that be very tempting to do. I mean, unless they got their eye on something else, or and I know it's a position that they look at, and in their formula, they want Pro Bowl level corners.
Well, he is.
And so he fits what they would want. I mean, he fits that, and he's still young. He's still very young, and he's shown he's got the talent to. I mean, because you got a guy that could be locking down one of the sides, which will allow you to help other people. He's got that kind of talent, so I think it's a move you definitely would. I would think they would do it, because that's one of their positions. You know how they are about the cornerback position. They are willing to put money, draft picks, value in that position, and that's been their formula. We'll see how it works out, but he would definitely fill one of the gaps, because this is a different way of going about it. But if they're looking at the draft, they're looking at cornerback position, and of course with all those kids, you don't know how good they're going to be. I mean, you think they're going to be good, but you don't really know for sure.
They don't have a certainty on that defense anywhere at any position right now. Watch this, Gary. Certainty, left tackle, offense, excellent. Left guard, highest paid.
Yeah.
Certainty, right tackle, certainty. Receivers, certainty. Back. Well, you got to worry a little bit about the health and all that, but still, on defense, there's not one thing that's a certainty out there. Will Jalen Carter take the next step? I don't know. I'm assuming he will.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Josh Sweat stay healthy? Okay. Outside of that, no. I mean, Jordan Davis right now, Gary, has not earned a second contract in that building.
No, he hasn't.
Nope. So, I mean.
And you definitely got question marks all over that defense. That is true.
How about this, Gary? Just remember I told you as we leave here, watch this. If I'm AJ, hey, man, congratulations on your cash. And then he does this. Hey, Billy, how'd this dude make as much money as me? And I've got 30 grand worth of yardage, and this guy's got 2. How's he making the same money? My contract, I've outplayed my contract in Philly.
I mean, he's right, but he signed the deal, but he's right.
Oh yeah, that holds up.
Hey, in due time, if he stays here, they're going to take care of him, but they're going to have to do something. They know it.
Absolutely.
They know it.
Oh, hey, you just gave me another topic here, so I thank you. Hey, Garry, how do you think? Do you think this goes like they're good boys, they're teammates, and everything? They're boys, they hug it out.
Yeah.
Or do you think this guy eventually starts coming around and starts going like this? What if he starts the season out and he's leading the NFL in yardage and he's got the most catches? You think he's going to sit tight on $25 million when the guy over there is making the same money as him doing less?
I think he'll be cool. I mean,
you don't mean it. Hey, get this. You can't look me in the face. I can tell you don't believe that.
I mean, the thing I'm doing is I'm hoping he doesn't do that. I'm hoping he doesn't, because it'll start stuff on the team. But I mean, without a doubt, I mean, if I were in that position, I'm laying in the bed going, man, yeah, I've outplayed, and we're making the same amount of money. I played my man, but we're making the same money, and I've outplayed him.
Hey, and I love him.
Yeah.
Love ain't got nothing to do with my
No,
paycheck.
it ain't got nothing to do with that. And so he figures, hey, he should be making 30 now then.
Oh, God. Thank you, Garry. Garry Cobb, Fox 29. This can't – what great drama that's going on with that. I appreciate you, Garry. Thank you, my friend.
I hope it doesn't blow up.
Thank you very much, Garry Cobb, Fox 29. Make sure you catch him, man. That's good stuff right there. Woo! I'm not even going to take a break on this one now. See, my guy, hey, James. James. You see, Xander, I have to have a follow-up to my over 100K viewed take from last week. And so here it is. How long before A.J. Owens looks over at his agent and says, wait a minute, he's a $25 million wide receiver for the Eagles? Well, I've outperformed that. And I've outperformed my contract then. What the Eagles did with that money, they set their own market in their own building. A.J. Brown has exceeded that $25 million contract and the one he's currently on. Should the Eagles give him more money? Renegotiate his contract? How in the world can DeVonta Smith make $25 million a year when he's been the lesser player and the lesser targeted? If you're A.J. Brown, you're not paid for winning Super Bowls. You're paid for numbers, especially at that position. DeVonta Adams is not paid. What's the number? Here. DeVonta Adams is making $28 million. He ain't won the Super Bowl, got nowhere near one. Cubs signed this deal after, 26-7. DK Metcalf, $25 million. I think A.J. Brown's going to start complaining and bitching about the fact that the guy on the other side is a lesser talented player and lesser productive. And he'll bitch and want more money. You know he will. You know he will. AJ will get more money. He already has a crap load of money. No. That's not how this works. That's not how this Look at Joe. It's not a good take because you don't want to hear it. One guy is giving you $2,000, the other guy $3,000. And he's put himself in a position to be considered one of the better wide receivers. I would never say DeVonta Smith is better than AJ Brown. So, will he hold out for more money? DeVonta Smith will never have 1,500 yards as long as AJ Brown is on his team. That ain't happening unless AJ gets injured. Okay? Ace, thank you. Big sales. Retook us to 5 NFC title games and 1 Super Bowl and failed. Peterson won one with less talent here than Reed. So is it more on Holmes for success or it all on McNabb? We failed. I think it's the quarterback and the head coach worked better than what Reed and McNabb did. I think you have to have a really good play calling head football coach, which Andy is, and McNabb wasn't the talent enough to win. I just think McNabb was a good player. Actually, if you think about it, Donovan McNabb can make the argument. Better quarterback than Dak because of the postseason success by a nudge. I mean, the only thing Donovan has over Dak is the postseason success. But, yeah, I mean, I look at both those guys and see the same guy in Dak Prescott. I see Dak. Jalen Hurts is throwing for 5,000 yards this year, so they'll both get 1,500. So hang on. You know it's going to be really funny. Okay, so wait a minute. You gave a running back $10 million for what? 500 yards? Hang on here. So, Senor, now that you got your 2 shiny trinkets at wide receiver, Hurts is going to throw for 5,000 yards, 25 interceptions. And you're going to try to tell me then that, what is it? Saquon gets the ball 4 times? Oh, man. Oh, I cannot wait for this. 1,200 yards from Barkley before he gets hurt. 1,200 yards? Well, he's not an upgrade then.